My people's ZUFFA Boxing went down yesterday. We're going to be talking about it. The show kicks off in 2 minutes. Get ready for this smoke, y'all. Boxing for breakfast, it's about to be lit. See you in a couple of minutes. My peoples, my peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know what we doing, man. We talking boxing. This is what we do. Yesterday, ZUFFA Boxing kicked off, and there's some highlights and some lowlights. And we're going to be talking about all of them. I want to hear, of course, your opinion. But let me kick this thing off by saying happy Saturday to everybody. Yo, it's a beautiful day. If you woke up, if God gave you another day, it's a beautiful day. It don't matter if it's raining. I know my peoples in NYC, in the East Coast, y'all dealing with that snow out there. It's still a beautiful day. You're up, you're breathing. You got opportunities to make shit happen for yourself. It's beautiful, y'all. Let me give a shout out to those who already tuned in. My boy Side, George Jack, and Ben in the building. Fellas, listen to me. ZUFFA Boxing kicked off yesterday, and I got some things that I want to share with you guys. And I'm going to start off with the highlights. What I felt were the highlights if you had the opportunity to tune in. Jay Smith, what's good? What's the deal? Eye for eye. Cold as hell up in Michigan. But come on now. It's cold out there, but you up. God gave you another day of life, my G. It's a blessing. We talking ZUFFA Boxing, man. Some people had the opportunity to tune in. Some didn't. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to be addressing the highlights first. Tell you guys what I thought was really good about it. And then we're going to get into those, what I felt was lowlights, right? So let me say that ZUFFA Boxing, the first highlight that I want to point out is the matchmaking. The matchmaking was beautiful. Very competitive fights. We saw, I think it was a couple of undefeated fighters who lost their O because they was matched with tough opponents. So what I'm already seeing with the matchmaking is that theme. There ain't gonna be no cherry picking. There ain't gonna be no easy fights. All of the fights were super competitive. We saw fighters who were supposed to win, and they got upset. Now, what makes that different from traditional boxing? We know there's a lot of fighters who they build a record for them by giving them easy opponents, by giving them a lot of opponents with losing records. And for some fighters, it takes up to when they got 15, 20 fights before they actually face somebody who's on their level, who's gonna make it a fight against them. Oftentimes, you see younger fighters and fighters who have a record of 5-0, 6-0, 10-0, that they're still facing guys who have a record of 2 wins and 7 losses, 10 wins and 10 losses. And, you know, they're facing opponents that you know they're going to beat. They're being matched with guys that they're going to outclass. Not so with ZUFFA Boxing. We've seen all of the fights be competitive because these talented fighters were matched up with guys who were close to their level right there. Very competitive fight. So I'm going to say shout out to ZUFFA Boxing for the matchmaking. The matchmaking was beautiful. No easy fights, no cherry picks. All of them were in there, and everybody was in there to win. You got the notion that they didn't bring people like, okay, we got this guy right here who's nice. Let's give him somebody. Let's feed him somebody so he could look good. Nah. Great matchmaking from ZUFFA Boxing. That's a highlight that I saw. Another highlight is the young talent. You saw young, talented fighters who can fight, who got skills. You saw skilled fighters. I want to say, man, I think part of the reason why Mauricio Sulaiman is salty, Mauricio the goofball Sulaiman, is because, you saw a lot of Mexican fighters. Yesterday card, like 3, 4 undefeated young Mexican fighters. They're basically saying, fuck the WBC. We don't give a damn about that shit no more. So when it comes to that recruiting process, ZUFFA Boxing is doing a great job. They bringing in young talent. They bringing in guys who have the potential to become stars. So I love the matchmaking. Love the young talent that I got to see. Young fighters that I never heard of who can fight, who can be competitive. That's a highlight from yesterday's action. The main event, Caleb Walsh versus Carlos Ocampo. I thought Walsh was going to wash him. The fight went the distance. It went the distance, and it was interesting. It was an interesting fight. It was competitive. So, again, I got to give a shout-out to Dana White, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. Great matchmaking. The fights were all action-packed. We got some real good action in the ring. You can't knock it. You cannot knock it, my peoples. If you love boxing and you watch what they put on yesterday, they put on good fights. All of them was good. Real talk, my peoples. Rosa Andre, keep doing your thing, Jay. I appreciate you, Rosa. Tejan, what up, Jay Smith? Been a minute. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in. And guys, let me know what you thought if you had the opportunity to tune in. ZUFFA Boxing, in my opinion, it was very, very entertaining to watch. So those are my highlights right there. Great matchmaking, competitive fights, young talent, and you saw upsets yesterday. Undefeated fighters take their first L. That shows you they not just gonna feed guys easy fights so they can win. In ZUFFA Boxing, I can tell you right now, you're not gonna see that many undefeated fighters. I'm about to tell you what I didn't like Tejan. I'm going to get to that. But I tell you right now, in ZUFFA Boxing, you're not going to see that many undefeated fighters because they're going to be matching them up early. They're going to be matching, like, if you're really good and this kid is really good, by the time you guys got 10 wins, you fighting each other. They're not going to let you cherry pick opponents and build a record of 20-0, 25-0 before you have to face somebody that's going to be a tough opponent. That's not going down in ZUFFA Boxing. We saw that yesterday. We saw guys losing their O yesterday. There's a guy, Hitman Harris, that I know him because I covered his fight. He fought here in the Dominican Republic, and the kid is nice. The kid is nice. He's very talented. Yesterday, he only had 1 L on his resume. I fully expected him to win his fight. He got beat. He got beat by a Mexican fighter who was like 9-0 and improved to 10-0. Outworked him. Fighter working under Garcia, Mikey Garcia's brother, Robert Garcia. So the matchmaking, it was beautiful, my peoples. Now I'm gonna tell you what I didn't like about ZUFFA Boxing. Number one, I did not like the uniforms. I didn't like that part. Us boxing fans, know that part of the boxing dynamics is the creativity of the fighters as far as their shorts, their trunks. Hector Camacho, salute to the icon and rest in peace, created a culture where fighters get to express their creativity with their shorts. So it's very common to see crazy looking shorts, crazy designs. You get to see the logos, you get to see the graffiti, you don't see that in ZUFFA. In ZUFFA Boxing, one guy wearing black shorts and one guy wearing white shorts. And all of the fights, they're wearing the same one, white and black. I hated that. Those shorts look like they got them in Payless for $12.99. Look cheap as hell. And somebody clip this shit and send it to Dana White. Dana, them uniforms make you look like a B league. You don't want to be a B league, right? You don't want to be some third tier boxing league, right? Y'all shorts look B league-ish. And here's also what I don't like about the uniforms. What I really dislike about the uniforms. It showed me that they followed the same model that they follow with UFC. Meaning, the fighters cannot make extra money with advertisement. I don't like that. You know, in boxing, any business, whether it's a supermarket or a big store or anybody from your own hood can say, yo, I'm going to give you $1,000 to put my logo in them shorts. I'm going to give you $500. I'm going to give you $1,500. I'm going to give you $2,000, whatever it is. But the fighters, the coaches, the trainers, everybody on the team can make a little extra money. They can, hustle that. Not so with ZUFFA Boxing. With ZUFFA, you're going to wear what we tell you. You're going to wear the logo that we tell you. And you're not going to advertise. You're not going to make extra money. We're not going to allow you to do that. I didn't like that. That rubbed me the wrong way. The fact that they can't do it. And the shorts look straight up whack. Having everybody with a uniform. Look, a uniform is horrible. I don't know why you guys doing this. The uniforms look like a B league boxing league, bro. It's B league shit right there. And then everybody got their last name in the front and ZUFFA in the back. Huh? And the flag from their country. That's whack, man. Them shorts look really whack. Dana White, Turkey Al-Sheikh, them uniforms suck. Boxing fans don't want to see no fucking uniforms. You look whack. Your fighters look whack as hell. Everybody white or everybody black. Nah, that gives a real bad vibe. At least I felt a bad vibe about it. Felt some type of way. So that's the first negative thing that I saw from ZUFFA. The uniforms. I didn't like that at all. The second thing, you're on Paramount. Most boxing fans do not have Paramount Plus, the overwhelming majority. So a lot of fans are going to miss out on these fights. Why? You're not going to get people to pay for an app to watch fighters that they don't know, that they never heard of. They not. I fire stick it. I got a fire stick for shit like that. Oh, I don't know who's fighting. I'm fire sticking that shit. So it's gonna take some time before, you know, the general boxing fan population starts actually getting that app. It's gonna be a while. Now, when you start signing big names, that's gonna be attractive to boxing fans, and they're gonna say, yo, let me get it. But Paramount Plus is not an app that is known for boxing. It's kind of like Amazon Prime with PBC. They went into Amazon Prime. Yo, the first card that they did on Amazon Prime, I don't know who watched it. Unless they used Fire Stick. Because most boxing fans, you're not going to have Amazon Prime for no boxing. So it's the same thing with Paramount Plus. So I would say those are my two negatives. The uniforms and the fact that you're on Paramount Plus. I know you're getting a shitload of money. You got deals. You got business with them. But, you know, boxing fans, are they going to tune in? It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before Paramount Plus becomes popular as far as boxing content goes. Rosa Andre, Zuffa is taking advantage for show. Eye for eye. Yes, I felt like I was watching a lot of amateur fights. And get some high definition cameras. So I'm not gonna knock them for the cameras. I felt that it looked good. You know, they're in a smaller venue. Is the first card, but again, the uniforms look cheap as hell. Nobody want to see no uniforms. So, and just the way that, you know, you want to promote Zuffa on everything, on the boxer shorts, on the boxer gloves, on the boxer robe going into the ring, on the trainer's hats, Zuffa. Goddamn, bro, that shit look like some slave shit going on over there, bro. Dana, come on now. You wanna have that image like you running a slave show where everybody does every single detail according to what you want? No good, Papi. No good. That's gonna deter a lot of fighters. If I'm a fighter and I like to wear my flashy shorts, I like to wear my flashy gear, my trainers with the flashy gear, and you telling us now you're not gonna wear none of that shit. You're gonna sign a contract with us and you're gonna be head to toe Zuffa. And you can't get no money for advertisement. You can't make no extra money. This all you getting right here. That's gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way, y'all. I'm telling you. If I'm in a good situation and I look the way I like to look, just because of that shit, I'm not gonna fuck with ZUFFA Boxing. So in my opinion, they have to make some changes to become more popular. They have to make some changes so that fans could be attracted to it. If you didn't watch, go ahead, watch the highlights and see how the fighters look. Now the action, I'm giving them their credit, my peoples. We got some good action, y'all. Can't knock them. Cannot knock them. The matchmaking was beautiful. The fights were competitive. We saw guys, you know, putting hands on each other in these fights. We saw guys who took their first undefeated fighters who lost for the first time. And it gave you that feeling like there ain't gonna be no cherry picking going on, man. It ain't gonna be no easy fights for nobody. Everybody is gonna have to step in and win and earn that victory. All of these guys face tough fights, tough opponents. And let's be honest, the fights were fun to watch. They were fun. Not very appealing to the eye with them goddamn uniforms. I hated the uniforms. I'm gonna be flooding Dana White. I'm gonna be flooding His Excellency Turki Alal Sheikh about them uniforms. I'll be sending people DMs. Whether you read it or not, I don't know if you're gonna check it out. But I do my duty. I'ma do my duty in telling Dana White them uniforms is whack. They look cheap, corny, and like you trying to run a goddamn slave ship. Everybody look the same. The way I said so. Nah, man, we not feeling that. Boxing fans is not gonna be feeling that. Fighters is not gonna be feeling that. And man, the event experience with Zuffa was lame. Now Zuffa boxing events are way more entertaining. And I get what you're saying, bro, because it's not just about what's happening inside the ring. As fans, we looking at everything. We looking at the overall package. We don't want to see fighters in uniforms. That is so whack. Especially if you've been watching boxing all these years. I personally got, well, not personally, but when it on TV, I got to see Hector Camacho walking in there dressed up like a fireman, dressed up like an Indian, dressed up like all type of shit. I got to see that. That level of creativity, which attracted us. It made some people hate Camacho. It made some people love him, but it made him an icon. Till this day, Hector Camacho started dressing like that over 30 years ago. How many years ago was it that he started that? And today, you still see fighters wearing the Hector Camacho style shorts. It's a trend. Not so with ZUFFA Boxing. We got uniforms for you. No creativity, buddy. We don't want your creativity. We don't want you to make extra money with advertisement on your shorts. Nope. Your shorts is gonna be Zuffa. That robe, that nice, beautiful robe that y'all like to wear to the ring, flashy with the glitter, with the graffiti, with the logos, with the designs. Nope. You're gonna wear a Zuffa robe. That look like they made that shit in Payless for $9.99. So the whole uniform part, I know that with UFC, Dana White did that, where fighters cannot advertise, where fighters only get to wear UFC merchandise and all of that. Dana brought that to boxing, but that's a big mistake. Because in boxing, we already have generations and generations and generations of boxing where people already been giving us that creativity with the way that they dress. Those shorts are an extension of the fighter's creativity, of the fighter's, freedom, of the fighter's, ability to make extra money through advertisement. Dana took that away. That's whack. Let's keep it 100. Eye for eye, that's Ryan Cage or box a fighter in do uniforms. Say it's a lot of control going on. That also shows signs that them boxers not going to get paid that well neither. I'm telling you, the whole uniform thing is gonna rub people the wrong way. I don't know how. No individuality. That's why I say it looked like some slave shit. Like they slaves. Now you're gonna do this, and like this, and you got no say about it. You're gonna rub people the wrong way because we've been seeing fighters dressing how they want to dress, doing what they want to do, having that freedom. Remember when Stephen Fulton showed up with the Timberland looking shoes and the jean looking trunks? Whoa, that shit was fire. That shit was iconic. I never seen no shit like that, and we always gonna talk about that. When you see that image, like, damn, man, Stephen Fulton killed it. Killed it. Well, in ZUFFA, you wouldn't be able to do that. Because you stuck wearing what they whack-ass uniform. Because the shit looked whack, it looked cheap, and it made you look like a fucking B-League. It looked like B-League shit. Look, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you, my peoples. Look at this motherfucking outfit, y'all. Look at this motherfucking outfit, man. That shit was iconic. Look at that outfit, y'all. By Stephen Fulton. Look. What? With the Timbs and the jean trunks? Stephen Fulton looked like a damn superstar out there, like a rock star, bro. That's creativity. ZUFFA Boxing absolutely disappeared the element of creativity, and that's part of the entertainment in boxing. Them outfits, them crazy outfits, and fighters expressing their own creativity, able to make money, able to sell advertisement via their shorts. Dana and ZUFFA took that away from the fighters. That's gonna rub people the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way. MS, Dana White is killing the marketing and branding for fighters by reducing their attire to plain uniform. And that demoralizes them mentally. It's not a good thing. Underrated will. Good morning, my brother. Salute. And that's what I'm telling y'all. I personally enjoyed every single fight yesterday. I'm not knocking that. The matchmaking was swift. You could see that there was no cherry picking for anybody. There was no easy fights for anybody. Everybody had to earn them W's. And even a couple of fighters lost their O yesterday. So when you see that in the same card, Kane, can't remember his last name, but Kane, he lost his O yesterday. Faced an opponent who outboxed him. This guy right here, one loss in his resume. He undefeated. Before the fight, he was talking about he's going to knock him out and all of this stuff. He got beat. Got outboxed, got outworked. So as far as the competitiveness of the fights, it was good. But the optics, what you saw, it left a bad taste in your mouth. Seeing fighters having to wear a uniform, that wasn't a good feeling. The first fight I watched, I'm like, damn, black shorts and white shorts, and all you got is the ZUFFA logo and your last name, god damn. Then I saw the second fight, oh shit, black shorts, white shorts, and the ZUFFA logo, and the ZUFFA logo in the boxing gloves. What the fuck? Then I see the third fight, oh shit, black shorts, white shorts, and the ZUFFA logo. Oh shit, he's walking in with a ZUFFA robe. Holy fuck. The trainers, the coach, wearing a ZUFFA hat. What the fuck? You can only wear ZUFFA brand merchandise? Nah, not feeling that. There's an element that we're already used to in boxing, and it's fighters, you know, expressing themselves in them shorts. So you see a fight, you see somebody wearing the blue and yellow shorts, you see somebody else wearing the pink shorts, you see somebody else wearing the purple shorts, the black, the colorful trunks, the army trunks. All of that is part of the optics, part of what you see, part of the entertainment, and also part of the freedom. Fighters don't have the freedom to wear what they want. That's not a good vibe, y'all. Not a good vibe. B-Score, how do you compare it to pro box? That's a good question. That's a good question. Look, I'm going to say, because pro box, you know, you're always getting competitive fights too. The way, optically, what we're seeing, pro box looks better. It looks better. ZUFFA Boxing, I'm going to put it to you like this. If two of the ZUFFA fighters go in the ring, right? Stand next to each other. They go in the ring and they stand right next to each other. And just stand right there in the middle of the ring and take a picture with their ZUFFA uniforms. Right? They're not fighting. It's just a picture side by side. I promise you, you're going to automatically say, this must be some type of B league. This must be some type of lower tier boxing league. Why? Because of the way that they look. When the hell have we seen uniforms in boxing? Fans are going to reject that. Fighters are going to reject that. Of course, if I'm a fighter and I'm looking to get fights and I got an opportunity with ZUFFA, I'm going to sign with them because they're giving me an opportunity to make some money. But I promise you, behind the scenes, the fighters, the coaches, the trainers, they like, man, these motherfuckers making us wear that uniform. Fuck, man, I can't advertise in my shorts. I can't make a little extra money. This shit crazy. And when you have that sentiment behind the scenes, everybody playing happy in front of the cameras, yeah, ZUFFA Boxing, I'm loving it. Oh, wow, this is so cool. But behind the scenes, you know fighters not feeling that shit. You know coaches not feeling that shit. We never had uniforms in boxing. And now these people telling us that we got to wear this uniform, these people telling us that we can express our own personality, that we can be individuals. There's some slave shit going on over here. What the fuck? And you know what that means? You'll see guys play out their ZUFFA contracts where they're able to make a name for themselves. And as soon as that contract is over, instead of re-upping, they're going to get the fuck out of there. You're not going to be able to maintain that talent because they not feeling the way you run in the organization. Uniforms in boxing, that's what, you see, that's the problem when you take an outsider and you bring them into something. That they think that they can bring in their own ideas and force people to accept it. Dana must have said, you know what? We doing it in MMA. We're going to do it in boxing too. MMA is not boxing. You got to understand. The popularity of MMA in the USA specifically, Dana White is the guy who exploded it. Yes, UFC been around for X amount of time. I watched UFC from the beginning. I watched UFC when Royce Gracie, Dan Severn, and all the people was doing their thing. I got to watch UFC 1. UFC 1, I got to watch it when Dana White wasn't even around. So he popularized it and was able to form it into what he wanted, and the fans accepted it. You're coming into boxing when it's already an established sport. And you're bringing in uniforms. That was a horrible idea. Horrible idea. Bisco, you saying there's no personality? There is no personality. We all got to look the same. We all got to wear the same uniform. We're not allowed to advertise in our trunks. And you have to understand, my peoples, if I'm a popular fighter, through that advertisement, not just I make extra money, but I give opportunities to people to advertise their business. Because if I'm a popular fighter, there could be somebody from my own block who started his new business. And he'll be like, yo, Jay, I'm going to give you $500. I'm going to give you $1,000 to put my logo in there. Whatever amount of money. But that transaction is going to allow me to make extra money on that fight night. And it's going to allow that business to advertise their joint in this big platform. No more. That's it. You're going to wear what we tell you, and nobody but us is going to advertise on here. I don't know about all that, my peoples, but I don't like it. I personally not feeling it. MS, you hit the nail on the head, Jay Smith. The plain uniform shit worked for UFC, but boxing was already a great sport before Dana White came into the picture. That's the point. You built UFC to what it is today. You can build it however you want it. You didn't build boxing for you to step in and say, you're going to wear white shorts, you're going to wear black shorts, you're only going to have the ZUFFA logo in your shorts, and you can't advertise shit. Bro, that's some old slave master type shit right there. Isaiah, remember that's Turkey and Dana shit. Everybody kept saying Turkey good sport. Now look, he giving fighters 200 paychecks. and not put in fights we actually want. So I'm going to say this, Isaiah. We have to, it's the first card, so we have to give them time for the fights to materialize. But I want to say this. I watched the card yesterday, and I don't want to hate on it because the fights was good, bro. The fights was competitive. They were fun to watch. I'm not going to knock it. All of the fights were really good. I got to be real with you, my guy. The fights were really good and really competitive. But you felt like you was watching two slaves out there with them uniforms. What are we doing? Uniforms? Black shorts and white shorts only? We've been watching, most of us been watching boxing for years. If you're, watch boxing shows on YouTube, most likely you've been watching boxing for years. And what does that say? You've seen the creativity. You've seen Stephen Fulton step in the ring with Timberland-looking shoes, with jean-looking trunks. We've seen Camacho-style trunks for years, for decades at this point. The long shorts, the glittery, the shiny, the graffiti, the everything. That's it. Zuffa took that away. Two people fighting in uniform, that's tough for us boxing fans to digest. High Roller Louis, who's fighting today? I'm fighting the urge to eat some pupusas. Ooh, my brother, listen. I spent a week, 5 days in El Salvador, and I ate pupusas for the first time. Oh my God, bro. Pupusas is just something special. It's something special, bro. And let me just say, I had tried pupusas and not in El Salvador, right? And I just realized I never really tried pupusas. Them are fake-ass pupusas. El Salvador got it. They got it. They got it when it comes to that. Special. And anybody who goes to El Salvador, you have to go eat some pupusas. It's a special thing. MS. Sound bomb for breakfast, bro. Pupusas, they so good in El Salvador. People eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It don't matter the time of the day. It's always a great time to eat pupusas, bro. Side, seems like you're just a number on Zuffa. That's what it looks like. Uniforms, everybody look the same. Look, let me put it to you like this. When I'm watching a fight, when I watched the first fight, I thought it was weird. One fighter had black trunks, the other fighter got white trunks, and the only thing they got on it is Zuffa. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? But then when the next fight came up, and I saw white shorts, black shorts, Zuffa again. What the fuck? Then I noticed the trainer got a Zuffa hoodie and a Zuffa hat. What the fuck? The boxing gloves, Zuffa. Then I see that when they walk in the ring, the fighter robe, Zuffa. Holy shit. These people wearing uniforms. They not allowed to wear anything else. They not allowed to use their creativity to wear flashy gear. And that's when I said that, you see, that's going to rub people the wrong way. Most boxing fans are not going to be feeling that. That's just real talk coming from me. MS, we have legit Salvadorian pupusas here in San Diego, but the street pupusas in LA, my God. And it's the street pupusas that be the best ones, bro. The ones in the street, the little vendors. Oh, man. It's just something special. Eye for eye. I'm curious why Michael Garcia brother was over at Zuffa. Yeah, he was. In fact, he was in this fight right here. I can't remember the name of his kid. Last name, that's Emiliano something. Not Emiliano Vargas. He fought Hitman Harris. Hitman Harris, I met him here in Dominican Republic. He came to fight and he won. He only had one loss in his resume. Good young fighter. He's skilled, got skills. He got outworked. He fought somebody that was more willing to let the hands go. Hitman Harris, you know, it's a kid that's very talented. Very talented. But he didn't let the hands go like he was supposed to. He's sharp with the punches, very good counter puncher. Lands clean shots, but not enough for them. He didn't do enough to win. This kid won most of the rounds and walked out of there with the dub. Isaiah, how much time we're gonna give him? Zuffa should have did a big, in my opinion, but why they do it in the Apex Arena? I mean, isn't that Dana White's joint or something like that? So, you know, I think when you're having, and I don't knock him for that either, you're having a first event, you're having a lot of fighters that are not big names. Bro, if you do it in a big arena, you're going to lose money because a lot of people is not going to go there. A lot of people is not going to go to see a fighter that they never heard of. So they have to do it in a smaller venue. They did it in their own. If you do it in a small venue, you can come close to selling that place out. And it's good for their optics that people are actually filling up the seats. You can't do a big venue, my brother, in a first event where you got most people fighting that we don't know. Eye for eye. I'm curious why Mikey Garcia, like I said, bro, he had a fighter in there. His fighter won. Miguel Rodriguez, hey, brother, it's just temporary to get the boxing promotion started. They're going to go back to normal after the name gets out. Yo, them uniforms rub a lot of people the wrong way, myself included. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. We all been watching boxing for way too long. We've seen fighters express their creativity with their outfit. We've seen fighters making money with their outfit. And you telling me you can't make money on Zuffa? I'm not feeling that, bro. They're going to get a lot of pushback. And by the way, Miguel Rodriguez, I want you to consider this. Dana White does that with UFC. In UFC, fighters cannot advertise with their gear, and they're only allowed to wear UFC gear, UFC gloves, UFC logos all over the place. And like I said earlier, that worked with UFC because Dana White built it to what it is today. He built the popularity of UFC to what it is today. You didn't build boxing. Boxing been around for a very long time. And ever since Hector Camacho, salute to Hector Camacho, rest in peace to the GOAT. Ever since he started the trend of the shorts. Remember Camacho, man, if you're old enough, you got to see him going in there with that fireman outfit, with the Indian costume, with all these different crazy costumes and these wild shorts. That was just super entertaining to watch. And today, decades later, they still wearing the Camacho-like shorts. They took that away in ZUFFA Boxing. That part of the entertainment aspect was not there yesterday. Fighters look like fucking cheap B-level fighters fighting in a B league with them uniforms. MS, the reality is a lot of good fighters who weren't getting the opportunities they dreamed of with other boxing promotions will find a home at ZUFFA. That's a fact. That's a fact. You wasn't getting fights. You wasn't making any money. I saw a guy who had been inactive for 16 months. First fight back with ZUFFA Boxing. So they're going to open a lot of doors. But remember that I told you this. Behind the scenes, nobody like that shit. The fighters don't like it. The coaches don't like it. But they have to roll with the punches, right? You want an opportunity, you're going to have to take what they're giving you. But that's also going to mean that you'll see fighters becoming popular on ZUFFA, and when their contract runs out, they're going to get the hell out of there. They're just going to use that platform to build their popularity. But you're not going to be able to retain talent. Not with that uniform shit. Not telling people, you got to do it how I say it. You got to dress how I say it. You cannot make extra money. You cannot do nothing but what we tell you. Nah, that ain't it, fams. That ain't it. Eye for eye. I hope they do, because ZUFFA got them looking like apartment building tenants. Bro, forget about apartment building tenants. They got them looking like inmates going to the yard. You know the inmates when they go to the yard and some inmates get to go play basketball? That's what they look like right there. That shit wicked. Not a good look. Not a good vibe. High roller. F pupusas. Mejor maruchan. Damn, I don't know how you could say that, bro. Pupusas it's insane. It's insane. John Wayne, Zuffa pimps. You said it, not me, but that's what it looked like. Everybody dressing the same. Everybody can only wear the Zuffa logo. You got the fighter with the Zuffa logo in the short and the Zuffa logo in the boxing gloves. You got the trainer with the Zuffa hat and the Zuffa short. You got the fighter walking in with the Zuffa robe. Come on, man. It says ZUFFA Boxing in the middle of the ring. You don't got to put the logo in every goddamn thing. You don't have to do that. What kind of organization? What's the image that you want to have? You want to have some slave master image that force everybody to look the way you want them to look? You're supposed to hire people. You're supposed to bring in people because they talent, because they can box. Let the people express their... Look, in boxing, individuality, creativity has always been a part of the sport. Y'all remember when Terrence Crawford went to fight Errol Spence with that fisherman outfit? Remember that? That shit was epic. One of the most epic costumes we've ever seen in boxing. You can't do that on Zuffa. You gotta wear your nice little white shorts and your nice little black shorts with only the Zuffa logo. Yo, that's gonna leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, y'all. Come on now. A lot of people is not gonna be feeling that. Hold on, let me block this dummy. We got the first dummy in the building. We gotta block him. A lot of people are not gonna be feeling that. You're gonna have a hard time, you know, convincing fans that uniforms are cool. It's gonna be tough. Hold on, my people. We got another dummy we gotta block. It's not gonna be easy to convince fans that it's okay for fighters to be forced into wearing uniforms, for fighters to be forced into looking everybody the same, to not be allowed to advertise via their shorts, to not have no individuality. We're not gonna be feeling that, y'all. That I'm just keeping it real. We're not gonna be feeling that. You're gonna have a tough time convincing people that it's okay. So there you go, my people. Those are my highlights and my lowlights for ZUFFA Boxing after watching that first card. Great matchmaking. I enjoyed the fights. All of the fights were good. All of the fights was competitive. But then the downside, like I told y'all, man, the uniforms, and of course they're on Paramount Plus, so it is gonna take some time for them to catch on. Because look, yesterday I was calling the fights, and a lot of people was telling me, yo, I'm glad you calling it, because the way you call it, I know what's going on, but I ain't got no Paramount Plus. I ain't watching. I'm not tuning in. Salute, Shaggy. Bam. So that's what I got for you guys when it comes to ZUFFA Boxing. Today, you guys already know that I will be calling these fights, and it's going to be super interesting. We got great boxing tonight, y'all. Great fights on the way. Y'all know I'm going to be calling the action. Main event, Andy Cruz, Raymond Murataya. Whoa. I told you guys I'm expecting Andy Cruz to win this fight. Murataya, undefeated fighter. Somebody's all got to go. And by the way, you saw that yesterday in ZUFFA Boxing. Undefeated fighters facing each other early in their career. Somebody all had to go. And a couple of people lost their O yesterday. Tonight, in that main event, somebody's going to lose that O. But it's not just about the main event tonight, my peoples. And that's something that you're going to see different from what you saw in ZUFFA Boxing. Fans are going to make those comparisons. You saw the little white shorts and the little black shorts with only the ZUFFA logo. Tonight, you're going to see Kaipo Gallegos, young fighter, undefeated fighter. Check out the outfit that he's going to do his ring walk in. Check out the gear that he's going to be rocking. He's going to be looking smooth, looking sharp, looking like an individual. He's going to express his individuality. You'll probably see some advertisement on his shorts, making some extra money. Can't do that on ZUFFA. And by the way, my peoples, if you don't know Kaipo Gallegos, this kid can fight. This kid got special talent. And I'm going to tell you right now, as Jay Stradamus, Kaipo Gallegos is going to be a world champion. If you don't know him, if you haven't seen him fight, tonight is the perfect time for you to get put on. For you to find out what this kid brings to the table. Because he's nice. Nice. Then we're also going to have, this is tonight, Zaquin Moses. Everybody already knows Zaquin is Shakur's cousin. Iron sharp as iron. This young lion been training with Shakur. If you haven't watched him fight, you're going to have to watch tonight, man, because he's special. Another young fighter that I can sit here and comfortably tell you he's going to be a world champion. Now, I know that there are boxing fans who they prefer to wait till guys are the champions to actually start tuning in. But if you're one of those boxing fans who like to see these guys when they're young, you want to see the process, the development, how they get better after every fight, how they start showing you new little tools after every fight. If you enjoy that, yo, this is the perfect time for you to tune in and watch Zaquin Moses. Because he's a special fighter, and I'm telling you, he's going to be a world champion. That's what he's being developed into. You already see the talent. You see the skills. It's nowhere but up that he's going to be going. Plus, he's excited to watch. Let the hands fly. Who else we got fighting tonight? Khalil Cole. Bro, have you seen Khalil Cole fighting? Wes Dustin, salute my brother. Bam! Khalil Cole is one of those fighters who's going to bring the fireworks. You're going to see explosive. He brings out the heavy artillery. And you know what I like about him? Obviously, as a fighter, you don't want to lose. You want to stay unbeaten. Khalil Cole lost by stoppage. He got stopped. And you know what he did? He went for the immediate rematch with the guy that stopped him and whooped his ass. Beat the shit out of him. Beat him up. That's how you know a fighter got the heart of a lion. Like Conor Ben, he lost to Chris Eubank Jr., got the rematch, and beat the shit out of him. Khalil Cole is that type of fighter. And he's going to be fighting tonight. There's no such thing as a boring Khalil Cole fight. You know you're going to get your money's worth. You're going to get that action. I'm showing you guys what type of card we got going on for tonight, man. Israel Madrimov. Trying to get back to the top. Trying to become a world champion again. He got a chip on his shoulder. Because you know how fans are. If they don't like a fighter, they're going to discredit their opponent. They hate Terrence Crawford. Since Crawford beat him, oh, Madrimov ain't nobody. This guy can fight. And he's fun to watch, exciting. He's fighting tonight. And then, of course, the main event, Andy Cruz versus Raymond Murataya. Some people see it that Andy Cruz is going to win this fight, but there are those who say, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Raymond Murataya got what it takes to pull off the upset. Two young, undefeated fighters headline this card. Gonna be a good one, y'all. Gonna be a good one. So, ZUFFA Boxing, they gave us an appetizer yesterday. They gave us some good fights. But now we in for the main course, the main dish. The fights from tonight. JJ's in the house. Good morning, J. Smith. Let's go. Hit that like button and subscribe. Salute, my brother. Bam. We've been here for an hour. Don't even got 20 likes, but it's all good. It's all good. I know that in 2026, some of you guys show up. Some of you guys understand that hitting that like button, put J. Smith in the algorithm. So you go bam, bam, you double tap that screen before you even hear anything. I appreciate y'all. There are those of you who, as soon as you jump on the show, you're like, Papa, whatever J. Smith's saying, I like it. I don't need to wait. I don't even have to. Bam, bam. I appreciate it. And I do the same, my people. That's how you support us content creators. When I go on Blue Blood Sports TV, I don't even got to hear what he's talking about because I know he's spitting truth. Pop, pop. Double hit that like button. Double tap that screen. When I go on the Rise podcast, I don't even need to hear what they talking about. Pop, pop. Double tapping that screen because I know they talking facts. That's how you support my peoples. Come on now. Wes Dustin Blue says, wipe your feet when you come in my house. Yo, Blue Blood Sports TV, he one of the realest in the game. And I gotta say, look, Blue Blood Sports TV is a pioneer in this and what we're doing right now. Why? Because when it wasn't popular for somebody who's not famous to go on and talk boxing and go back and forth with the fans and do all that, Blue was doing it. In fact, the first time that I saw Blue, I was like, man, who the fuck is this guy? I don't even know who this guy is. Boop. And I just kept scrolling. Girl, like, what? A guy I never heard of, and he talking boxing? Nah, man, I'm like, who the fuck is this? And I seen him a few times. He went on, it showed up in my feed. Man, Blue Blood Sports, man, get the fuck out of here. I don't know you. What you talking about? But then eventually, I listened. Man, let me see what this guy's talking about. He keeps showing up on my goddamn feed. Let me see what he's talking about. Because y'all know I know boxing. So if I listen to you, I'ma know you don't know shit about the sport quick. But the moment I sat there and I started listening to Blue, I said, oh shit. This nigga know his shit. I subscribed to the channel right away. Like, damn. I underestimated, bro. He out here cooking. Right away, I subscribed. And when I go on and watch Blue Blood Sports TV, whether I'm watching his live or one of his videos, the first thing I do is hit that like button because he be out there cooking. Simple as that. Wes Dustin, it's good manners, man. That's a fact. That is a fact. But a lot of people don't even understand good manners, bro. Manners is something that is not even in some people's vocabulary. JJ said, "There's our guy over here from Sacramento lost for the first time on ZUFFA Boxing. Came Sugar Sandoval." Yo, listen. I was watching and calling that fight yesterday. I called that fight. Kane Sandoval, he can fight. But I'm going to tell you why he lost. Why he took that L yesterday. I'm going to explain that L to you. There you have it right there. So, Kane Sandoval, strong fighter, He a dog. He could take a shot. He's going to keep coming forward. But here's the main problem that I saw yesterday. He's very good on the inside. Very good inside of that phone booth. He likes to trade leather. He likes to go on the inside. Bam, bam, bam. Works the body hard. But from that mid-range, he got cooked. It's like he's constantly looking to get on the inside to let the hands fly. But yesterday, he had an opponent who had better footwork than him and was giving him angles, moving to the left, moving to the right. So what Cain Sandoval and his team have to do, they have to go to the drawing board and work on that mid-range game. Work on that jab. Use that jab more consistently. And also, he didn't do a very good job cutting off the ring. He was more chasing, and getting tagged. They got to work on that. It was a good fight. It was a good competitive fight. But that's the one thing I noticed about ZUFFA Boxing, man. They're gonna be putting together tough matchups. So you're not just gonna wash your opponents. Wes Dustin, I wish Blue was my friend so he could introduce me to my peoples by my stats. Wes Dustin, lightweight YouTube contender, 12 minutes, no losses, no draws. Lace Mayer, good fight, but them cars seem wide. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. I felt like it should, on the cards, it should have been closer than what it was, because Cain was also, inflicting damage. In two of the scorecards, he only won one round. To me, that was crazy. But that's the way they scored it. Jason, now he needs to work on his jab on the outside. Yeah, man. Because look, this is all I saw yesterday from Cain. This is what I saw from him. He would be getting hit, bam, bam, trying to get on the inside, bam, bam. And then eventually when he made it to the inside, bam, bam, to the body real hard, to the head, bam, bam, uppercuts. There was time when he would land 3, 4 uppercuts and bam, bam, bam. So on the inside, he looked real good, real good. But that's when he made it to the inside. From the outside, bam, 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 bam. Not doing a good job cutting the ring off. Bam, chasing around, bam, bam, bam. Barely throwing jabs and bam, bam, getting hit. That's not gonna cut it. Right now, Cain is very one-sided, very one-dimensional. He's looking to get on the inside and destroy you. But you're not going to be able to do that with everybody. These fighters who have that elite level footwork that are going to give you them angles, you better be ready to fight on that mid-range, or they're going to box the shit out of you. That's what happened to Cain yesterday. Jay said that he needs to work. Yeah, you got to work on that jab, my G. Vic, I got Andy Cruz tonight. Unanimous decision. I got Andy Cruz winning this fight. I know a lot of people feel like Raymond Murataya can win it. And I got to admit it, man. Murataya is a very good fighter. But these are the type of fights that show you the difference between very good and headed for greatness. Andy Cruz is headed for greatness. I'm going to give you an example of fighters who are very good, but not great. Or at least right now, they don't look like they're going to be great. Sam Noakes. Sam Noakes is a very good fighter. And you know what happens with very good fighters? They become champions. I fully expect Sam Noakes to become a world champion. I fully expect Raymond Murataya to become a world champion. Not tonight, though. Of course, he's not gonna. I don't see him beating Andy Cruz. So what happens with fighters who are very good? You're not gonna beat them unless you headed for greatness. You're not gonna beat them if you're an average Joe. They're gonna beat everybody, and they only gonna lose to those that are la creme de la creme. They're only gonna lose to the very best. They get to become world champions, but the difference between a very good fighter and a great fighter is that a very good fighter, George Kambosos, is a very good fighter. You see? So he won a title, but he lost it right away. And he probably will never become a champion again. That's what very good fighters do. Great fighters, those are the ones that keep winning titles, that keep winning in different divisions, that keep unifying titles. That's when you see the difference between good and great. Marie, who did you pick in this one? Cruz, Morataya. I did hear your prediction. I got Andy Cruz winning this fight by unanimous decision. I'm expecting Raymond Morataya to make it an interesting fight. It's not going to be easy. You know, Morataya is one of those opponents who's going to show up expecting to win. He's going to, you know, opponents like that are tough. When you got talent and you show up like, nah, I'm going to beat this guy. Sam Noakes showed up expecting to beat Abdullah Mason. He lost, but he gave him the fight of a lifetime. Reina Tellez showed up like she expected to beat Amanda Serrano. She lost, but gave her the fight of her lifetime. Beat the crap out of her face. So, again, there's fighters that they're going to be tough, man. They're going to be tough to beat. You're going to have to beat them up to get that W. And Raymond Morataya is one of them dudes. So Andy Cruz is not just going to wash him. I'm telling you right now. It's not going to be a washing. But he's going to win this fight. John Powell, main event last night was trash. Yo, I'm glad it was trash in a way. You know why? It was super cloudy here in the Dominican Republic and raining. One fight before the main event, I lost my signal. My shit went down. So I was mad as hell. I missed the co-main and the main event. And then when my shit came back, I saw some messages. Jay, what happened? What happened? We lost you on the live. But that shit was whack in the end. But I have to say, you know, the matchmaking, I do give credit to Dana White and their matchmakers. The matchmaking was good. The fights was competitive. We saw undefeated fighters lose that O. Multiple, I think 2 undefeated fighters lost their O. Kane Sandoval being one of them. Good matchmaking. Entertaining fights. Them uniforms, that shit looked like we was watching a B league. That shit looked like we was watching a bullshit boxing league with some bullshit uniforms. I hope they can reconsider and say, now throw out the uniforms and let's allow the creativity. Let's allow the Macho Camacho-like boxing shorts. Let's allow fighters to walk in with the crazy robe with all the crazy designs. Let's allow the fighters to make extra money by advertising on their shorts, by advertising on the robe, on the hat. It's called freedom. It's called freedom of expression. Give the fighters that freedom. We're not feeling that. We're not feeling the uniforms. And you're going to have a hard time making people digest it smoothly. White shorts, black shorts in the first fight. White shorts, black shorts. Only the ZUFFA logo. Robe for the fighter walking in, only the logo. Hats, ZUFFA logo. Gloves, ZUFFA logo. Fuck, you running a plantation, bro? This shit look like a plantation out there. We're already used to the creativity. We already used to the fire-looking shorts, the fire-looking outfits. We used to that. You took that away. That's not good. We're not feeling that. We're not feeling that. That's why I said, look, y'all remember, when Stephen Fulton showed up with the Timberland looking boxing shoes and the jean looking trunks. That shit was iconic, y'all. That shit was iconic. I saw that shit, I was like, God damn, yo, Stephen Fulton killed it. He looking like a rock star out there. You can't do this in ZUFFA. You can't look this fly in ZUFFA. You can't look fly, period. You look like a motherfucking inmate going to the yard to play handball in ZUFFA Boxing. Come on, man. Come on, my peoples. Let's keep it 100. The optics was not good. The action was good. Most of the fights were very entertaining. Most of the fights, you saw the guys trading leather, super competitive. You saw knockouts. You saw big, big exchanges. It was fun to watch. The action, what the fighters were doing in the ring, it was entertaining. But goddamn, the optics, it looks like they're in a yard of a prison. That's what it looked like. You in a yard of a prison wearing $9.99 Payless shorts. Not feeling it. There you have it, my peoples. Let me just say, tonight, for those of you who don't know, I will be calling the fights live. I am going to be giving you this action. And I will be going live early because all of these fights are going to be fire. You are going to get the left to the mouthpiece, the right to the dome piece, the left to the toupee. Devastating blow, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. I'm going to be calling these fights tonight. So I'll see you guys on Fight Night with Jay Smith. Appreciate everybody who tuned in this morning. If you hit the like button, salute. If you didn't hit the like button, fuck you. JJ's at their house was in the building. John Parham, Lace Meyer, Vic, Marie, Wes Dusset, Cy, Shaggy, MS, Miguel Rodriguez, Isaiah. Who else? High Roller. We was talking about pupusas this morning. That's crazy. Yo, y'all already know what it is, man. Oh, JJ's in their house wants the word of the day. Let me give you guys the Jay Stradamus word of the day before I get the hell out of here. It's Saturday, my peoples. Beautiful day. Most of us don't work on Saturdays. Marie, as soon as the card starts, I'm gonna be live, or shortly after. So let me just say, my peoples, it's Saturday, and most of us don't work on Saturdays. I know some people do, but most of us is at home. Don't forget to spend time with your family. That's my word of the day. Look who I'm with. Right now, he playing video games. Let me show y'all something. Look at this. That's who I'm with right now. Look. See that? That's who I'm with right now. My son, Ryan Enzo. Spend time with your family, my peoples. If you got kids, if you got sons, if you got daughters, spend time with them. I see too many. And I see that shit on social media, man. And it kind of bothers me when I see fathers and mothers posting all type of shit on the weekends and they not with their kids. Fuck is wrong with you? Fuck is you doing? Stop thinking that you don't got to hang out with your kids because you bought them a nice gift. You bought them a video game, so fuck it, he playing video games. I'm hanging out. Stop doing that. That's corny as fuck. The most important thing that you can give your kids is your time. Ain't nothing more important than that. So it's cool if you buy them nice things, but it's your time. Today, I got these little boxing gloves. I got this bag for my 4-year-old, and we're gonna be boxing. I'm gonna be giving him his second boxing lesson. And that's another thing, my people, that I'm gonna include in the word of the day. If you're a father and you got boys, if you ain't teaching them how to fight in that aspect, you failing. Start teaching your kids how to fight, my peoples. Because we men, we understand that fighting is a part of life. Now, when we get older, we ain't going around fighting. But we know what we have to live through when we're kids. When we're in elementary school, when we're in junior high school, when we're in high school. We gotta fight. It's part of it. It's part of growing up. And if you don't teach your kids how to fight, some kid is gonna beat their ass in school, and you know what that's gonna do? That's gonna affect their self-esteem. When you get your ass whooped and you can't fight, it affects your self-esteem. It affects how you feel about yourself. Like, damn, I can't fight. You don't feel confident in yourself. Teach your boys how to fight. Teach your boys how to put hands on somebody, how to defend themselves. And you don't got to be a professional boxer or a black belt to teach your kids how to fight. You teach your kids how to fight by telling them throw punches, push them around, shove them around, make them stand up, make them show strength. Teach your kids how to fight, man, because it's a tough world out there. And if you don't teach your kids how to fight, when they little, when they 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, if you don't teach them that, if that's not a part of the dynamic, the father-son dynamic, they're going to get their ass whooped in school, come back home crying. They're going to get their ass whooped in school and keep it quiet, not tell you anything, and have no confidence in themselves. So there you have it, my peoples. Spend time with your kids and teach your boys how to defend themselves. Y'all already know what it is, man. This is Jay Smith. I'm signing off. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I'm going to see you tonight for Fight Night with Jay Smith, Andy Cruz, Raymond Murataya, main event. But all of them fights, I'm going to be calling them for you guys. Salute. One love to everybody who tuned in this morning. I'm getting the hell out of here because I got to spend time with my son. I love that little nigga right there. Peace.